I'm Floss and I was a mentee on the John Schofield e-mentoring scheme.
My name is Max and I was a mentee on the e-mentoring scheme.
Hi, I'm Molly and I was a mentee on the John Schofield Trust e-mentoring scheme.
I'm Laurie and I was a mentee on the e-mentoring scheme.
I'm Lydia and I was a mentee on the e-mentoring scheme.
I'm Ellie and I was a mentee on the e-mentoring scheme.
I didn't know what I wanted to do, I just knew I loved English, and my mentor was like, hey, there's not just writing newspapers, there are all these other different branches in journalism you can go into, and she kind of helped me find out what I would genuinely enjoy doing and what would be a job suited for me.
I didn't really think of it before, but like going to different places and writing about like if it's different cultures or kind of anything like that, yeah, I think that's interesting, which I never really thought of. So
she introduced me to investigative journalism, so like looking at like crime, that sort of thing, something that I'd be really interested in. I didn't really think about that before. So
my journalist introduced me to like travelling writing, like writing about overseas issues, and that was something I hadn't thought about before. Like South America, we focused on that because I wanted to go there in my gap year, and without him I wouldn't have really thought about it at all.
I think I had quite a focus, like I thought I was going to go to uni just study English, but then having a mentor has helped me realise that there's lots of different jobs that can go with English. So like journalism, I always thought was just presenters and producers. Yet like talking to my mentor, she gave me lots of options. So just to go to uni, there's like lots of things to study. So I think that really helped. So I kind of knew that there's not just one thing I could do. So yeah. Having a mentor, she's kind of like, she suggested that I go to local newspaper and then like, so I can put writing on the newspapers for everyone to read. And so that kind of opened my perspective at everything. So I kind of was writing not just about personal things, more of like worldwide issues. So that helped me with that as well.
Another benefit of the mentorship program was actually finding the motivation to write all these stories. So I'd just be talking with my mentor about my interests, and she said, how about you write a story on that? And then you have someone, but because I think you often do creative writing, but then no one reads it, especially at our age. And it was having someone who would read something I'd written, and that was so rewarding to me that it really encouraged me to keep practicing writing because I actually had someone, if that makes sense.
it's not really journalism, but it's encouraged me to just write in general. So like songwriting I enjoy doing as well, and just like talking to someone about something that you enjoy, so journalism and just being creative in general, it's just like motivated me to be creative personally as well.
With creative writing, my mentor was very helpful with helping guide which directions and which sort of stuff I should focus on more with, and once again helping me refine and sort of polish and tweak where I might be able to get information about such creative writing, where and how to improve, different techniques that could also be used, and different other examples which were really helpful.
One thing that I explored with my mentor that I really loved was how we consume news nowadays and how to create something that is very fast, because we consume media very quickly and we want something that is bite-sized. We don't want like tabloid newspapers so much anymore. And how to construct something that is visually engaging, that's funny. Normally a lot of the time, BBC articles now use a lot of comedy because that's what keeps your readers, and that was so interesting to explore with her and look at how different newspapers try to make something entertaining. I thought that was really brilliant, and I hadn't thought about it at all, of how much journalism has changed nowadays when we just have access to Twitter or a news feed. It's brilliant.
So I'm Sian Gaston and I'm a lecturer in the English department at Truro College, and I also run the creative writing group, which is a voluntary enrichment activity open to all the students at the college, whether they're studying English or not. And it was in that role that I was first contacted to see if our students would be interested in the opportunity of being mentored through the e-mentoring scheme by the John Schofield Trust. I think there are a number of benefits. I think particularly because we're located in a large rural county in Cornwall, the ideas of what you can do, what's available to you, it seems at times to be very geographically bounded. And so this scheme opened up all kinds of worlds for the students and possibilities that perhaps they hadn't thought about before, and that obviously that as well are more difficult for them to access in Cornwall. So I think that was really valuable. I think they've also found it really valuable to have somebody taking them and their writing seriously, but who's outside of their normal support structures. So somebody who isn't a family member or isn't even a trusted teacher, somebody who's got no other agenda, somebody who is professional. And I think they really felt a sense of them as young writers actually being validated, and that's really important.